something important. I had no idea what he was talking about, so I pressed him for details. That's when Mark revealed that the entire marriage crisis was completely fake. Linda had convinced Rachel that the best way to get me to be a more romantic and attentive husband was to make me think our marriage was in jeopardy. They'd planned out what Rachel should say to make it seem like she was having genuine doubts about our future together. According to Mark, Linda had been orchestrating this marriage intervention for months after Rachel mentioned feeling like our relationship had become too comfortable. Linda convinced Rachel that comfortable marriages often lead to husbands becoming lazy and unappreciative, so they needed to create urgency to motivate me toward being a better partner. Mark drunkenly confessed that Linda had been monitoring my behavior through Rachel and celebrating every sign that I was becoming more desperate to save our marriage. They thought it was hilarious that I'd started bringing Rachel flowers randomly and planning surprise date nights to try to prove my commitment. I hung up on Mark and sat in my garage for hours, trying to process what I'd just learned. When Rachel came home that night, I confronted her with what Mark had told me. She immediately started crying and admitted everything. She said it had started as a simple plan to motivate me toward being more romantic, but it had escalated into something much more serious than she'd intended. Rachel explained that Linda had convinced her that our marriage was getting stale and that I was taking her for granted. Linda told her that comfortable marriages often lead to husbands becoming complacent because they're getting all the benefits of marriage without having to work for them. The fake crisis was supposed to create urgency and make me realize I needed to step up as a husband before I lost her. She apologized endlessly and said she never meant for it to go on so long or cause me so much pain. She claimed she'd been planning to end the charade soon and that she was actually ready to work on our marriage because the fake crisis had made her realize how much she loved being married to me. But I was absolutely furious. I told her that instead of motivating me to be a better husband, she'd actually accomplished the opposite. I couldn't believe that someone who'd promised to love and honor me would put me through months of emotional torture just to test how much effort I'd put into our marriage. If she wanted more romance, she could have simply talked to me about it instead of creating an elaborate deception. The more I thought about it, the more betrayed I felt. I realized that every conversation we'd had during those months had been based on lies. When she'd cried about feeling trapped, she was acting. When she'd talked about needing independence, she was following Linda's script. When she'd said she regretted getting married young, she was deliberately trying to hurt me to get the reaction Linda wanted.